What's up, Foxy people? Today's video is kind of not planned, hence the appearance. One of my lovely ladies from the classes I teach is struggling with something or asked me to explain it to her, so I just thought it would be much easier to show you instead of writing everything out, right? So we're going to do iron-on today. Alright, let's get into it. Okay guys, so I'm just going to type up something real quick here. So go to the text. If you don't know how to do that, check out my basics part 2. I'll link it down below. So I'll just type up something quick. I'm just doing a quick example today, right? So you type in what you want, go and find the font you want. You can scroll through, you can look up what you want. Don't forget, some have prices if you don't have Cricut access. And you are going to want single layer cutting. I'll explain multi-layer in a different video. So, I'm going to go back. I actually like the looks of the lowercase ones. So I'm just going to stick with that. And then I'm going to resize it, so unlock so that I can change both the height and the width to whatever I want. Let's just say 7 by 2. It's not altered too much. Here, for example, if you were to do 7 by 3, sometimes it distorts it if you put off the width and the height sometimes. So you can move it around to what looks good for you. Again, this is just an example, so you want to make sure that line type says cut, and then you can change the color up here if you want. Doesn't really matter. When you go, you can put any color vinyl on the mat basically. So down there, make sure it says cut as well, and then go to make it. And here is what your cutting mat should look like. So again, we're on cut. Just make sure if you're working with a 12 by 24 mat, you would change it here. I'm just going to change it back to 12 by 12 just because that's usually what people have. And mirror. This is the most important feature when doing iron-on. Make sure you mirror it. Write a note, write it on your machine, do what you need to do. If you do not mirror it, it's going to be backwards. So then here, I just grabbed a scrap piece of vinyl I had lying around. Let me know if you want to see how I store my scraps. But so I just stuck it on the mat there, and as you can see, it wasn't quite even. So I'm going to go back in here and change the size so that it just matches up to that scrap piece that I had. And I always relock it just so that it doesn't get messed up when I'm moving it around the mat. Again, make sure it's mirrored. And I'm going to move it down here because as you saw, I had my vinyl right up to the number 2 line. So I want to make sure that it's matched up evenly. Okay, and just go down to continue. And now you're going to your cutting screen. So turn on your machine. Make sure it's plugged in and open, whatever, and get your mat ready to load. Change the material to what you're working with. I'm going to put it to iron-on plus only because my blade is getting a little dull, so I'm going to need that extra pressure. You could always change it to customizable and pick the material you're working with then. Again, that's all explained in part 2. So you'll see here my machine is connected by USB to the Air 2. My material is set and it's reminding me to make sure it's mirrored because it's on iron-on. It's telling me right here what blade I need. If I was doing a drawing, it would tell me to load the pen, and then it's telling me to load the mat and press the arrows. So the arrows will be flashing when it's ready to load. And if you listen, oh, not yet, I forgot. So when you press the arrows, the wheels will start spinning and it will suck up the mat. And then now this, you'll hear actually a little Cricut sound if you pay close attention. You press that, and that's telling the machine to cut it. And here we go. You'll see on your computer, it will give you a processing update, what percentage it's at. Smaller projects do obviously go by faster. You want to make sure that you're holding onto the mat and almost pushing it up when it's loading in, just to make sure that the rollers have a proper grip of it. Then you can let go of it, of course. The machine does the rest. And then your computer will say it's at 100%, and you're ready to unload it. You just hit those arrows again, and it will spit out the mat. And then you are done with design space. So you can just hit finish down here and save it and do whatever you want with it, right? So now I have this big piece of scrap. I don't want to waste all of it, right? So I'm going to cut off the excess. So I'm only working with the size of the actual design, and then I'll keep that with my scraps. And then you just start weeding away what you don't want. Iron-on vinyl is so easy to weed. It comes up almost all in one quick whatever. See how easy that comes up? Now I'm just going to go in and take out the little pieces. I like to weed with my tweezers just because they're easier to grab, but of course you just use a regular weeding tool. That's fine if that's all you have. As you can see, it's going to be backwards. You want it backwards because we mirrored it. So the backwards on the sticky side, so then that way when you turn it over, it will be the right way, because the sticky side is what's going to be placed onto your project. So here's my ironing setup. You want to go to cotton. Do not use steam. So this is the highest temperature I could go on the iron without steam. And I like to use just a ceramic tile underneath my project. I don't know if it actually helps. I have found a massive difference in doing that. And then also parchment paper I like to use as a carrier. So if you don't have a ceramic tile, that's fine, but make sure you're ironing on a solid table or something. Do not use an ironing board because it's not flat and solid enough on the bottom, so it won't be able to conduct the heat properly. So I'm just gonna cut to size the piece of parchment paper that I need for that design. And then this is just some scrap fabric I had lying around. So you're gonna wanna iron it and make sure all the wrinkles are out. Even if it is a flat piece of fabric, you will wanna iron it just a little bit to preheat the surface before you put your project down on it. It just helps stick it in the beginning easier. So we just place it down, put the piece of parchment on top of it, and start ironing. You notice I stood up because you want to put pressure on it. You want to apply pressure to the iron. And also, if you notice, I'm not moving it around. I'm just leaving it in one spot, pushing down for a couple seconds, lifting it up and moving it to the next spot. I mean, don't pull your shoulder out by trying to apply the pressure, but you do want to apply pressure just to make it adhere a lot better. And that's why an ironing board doesn't work very well for this. So I'm just going to keep going over little sections for a couple seconds until I think that it's adhered enough. You want to be careful not to do it too long, because then you will burn the vinyl if you overheat it. So just do 10-15 seconds for each section, and then go and check it. If you think it needs more, you can always go back, but it's easier to go back than fixing it once it's burnt and ruined. Now I'm just going to check it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it properly on camera, but usually you should be able to see the fibers of the fabric through the vinyl. That's when you know it's pretty good. So here I'm just going to lift the carrier sheet off, and it's sticking pretty well. If you start lifting the carrier sheet and you notice it's lifting, it might be a cool peel vinyl. So you would have to stick it back down, apply some heat a little bit more, and let it cool down, and then pull the carrier off. And then I personally just like to go over it once more with the parchment paper just to solidify everything. And there you go. You can run your finger over it, and then you'll notice if there's any like lifts or if it's just all together and adhered.
So hopefully that helped for anybody that is struggling with iron-on or afraid to mess it up or whatever. I've learned a couple tricks along the way, and that's what I showed you today. So hopefully this helps. Give this video a big thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed along to follow all the Cricut videos. I know the lighting and stuff wasn't perfect today. Again, it was last minute, but I hope it helped somebody, okay? So make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.